Hello everyone and welcome. In today's lesson we will see how can we use discourse markers. We will see also verbs with complements and how can we use the word want and would like. Let's start. Let's start with verbs with complements. You cannot leave out the entire infinitive after verbs that need complements. Complements are phrases that complete their meaning, such as advise, afford, be able, choose, decide, expect, hate, hope, love, need, and prefer. After these verbs, you must keep the to. The example here, we want to see a band tonight, but we really can't afford to. You cannot stop here with afford. We really can't afford. No, you need to add to here. Let's see more examples. I tried to get to the front of the crowd, but I wasn't able to. Which means I wasn't able to get to the front of the crowd. You could bring some snacks along, but you don't need to. You could bring some snacks along, but you don't need to. Which means you don't need to bring some snacks along. I had piano lessons as a child, but I didn't choose to. I had piano lessons as a child, but I didn't choose to. I have never been to the opera, but I would love to. I would love to go to the opera. Let's fill in the gaps now using the words in the panel. Let's read them first. Afford, starts, delighted, promise, afraid, prefer, hate, able. I asked my sister to sing with me and she said she'd be delighted. I asked my sister to sing with me and she said she would be delighted. Delighted here is an adjective. We don't need to after that. Number 1. I wouldn't like to read music, but it will be a long time until I'm able to. I wouldn't like to read music, but it will be a long time until I'm able to. Number 2. Don't forget that it's supposed to rain tonight. Try to leave before it starts. Don't forget that it's supposed to rain tonight. Try to leave before it starts. Here we don't need to after start. Number 3. Some people aren't nervous about performing, but I'm too afraid to. Some people aren't nervous about performing, but I'm too afraid to. Number 4. Some artists don't like to have family in the audience on the first night, but I prefer to. Some artists don't like to have family in the audience on the first night, but I prefer to. Number 5. It's such a shame. I would absolutely love to see him sing, but cannot afford to. It's such a shame. I would absolutely love to see him sing, but cannot afford to. Number 6. I've seen other artists who love talking to the audience, but I hate to. I've seen other artists who love talking to the audience, but I hate to. Number 7, you don't need to worry. I will come along to all of your recitals. I promise. You don't need to worry. I will come along to all of your recitals. I promise. Now let's see the word want and would like. You normally keep the two rather than drop the entire infinitive after want or would like. For example, he asked if I wanted to go, and I said I would like to. In if clauses, however, you can often use to on its own or drop the whole infinitive after want or would like. You can come with us if you want, or you can come with us if you want to. You must keep the to if the clause is negative. Don't go to the concert if you don't want to. Don't go to the concert if you don't want to. Let's mark now the sentences that are correct. Thanks for the offer. I would really like to. Thanks for the offer. I would really like. So the first one is correct. Thanks for the offer. I would really like to. Number 1. I asked him to come, but he didn't want. I asked him to come, but he didn't want to. The correct one is number 2. I asked him to come, but he didn't want to. Number 2. You can have one if you want. Or you can have one if you do. The correct one is number 1. You can have one if you want. Number 3. You can stay, but I don't really want to. You can stay, but I don't really want. The correct one is number 1. You can stay, but I don't really want to. Number 4. If you're free to meet, I would still like to. If you're free to meet, I would still like. The correct one is number 1. If you're free to meet, I would still like to. Number 5. You can call me Sam if you want to call. You can call me Sam if you want. Number 2 is the correct one. You can call me Sam if you want. Let's see now some common informal discourse markers. We usually use to correct a listener's misunderstanding or incorrect expectation. Be aware of how body language conveys extra meaning when talking face to face. So it depends on how your body language is interacting. I don't think this painting is worth that much. Actually, it sold at auction for $2 million. Wow! Do you like it? I don't, actually. It's not very impressive. Use by the way to show a change of subject. For example, I think this one is fantastic too. Oh, by the way, did you read the article about the painter in the Times? You see how did they change the subject here? By using by the way. Use as I was saying to return to a previous subject after a change of subject or interruption. As I was saying, this is a fantastic painting. I really like the way the sea is painted. Use anyway to return to a subject after interruption. Change subject or and a topic or conversation. Anyway, I should say goodbye. I want to visit the gallery shop before it closes. Now let's cross out the least appropriate words in each sentence. I know you say he's talentless, but actually, this is very impressive sculpture. Number 1. These gardens are fabulous. Did you bring your camera? These gardens are fabulous. Did you bring your camera, by the way? Did you bring your camera, by the way? Number 2. Yes, but before. I really think I could paint that myself. Yes, but as I was saying before, I really think I could paint that myself. As I was saying before. Number 3. No, I don't hate all modern art. I really like some street art. No, I don't hate all modern art. I actually really like some street art. Number 4. Anyway, or actually, to get back to my question, would you pay $2 million for that? Anyway, to get back to my question, would you pay $2 million for that? Number 5. These paintings aren't the reason I come here. I prefer the architecture. These paintings aren't the reason I come here. I actually prefer the architecture. I actually prefer the architecture. Now let's speak these out loud and use the most appropriate discourse markers. You like Manet's paintings, don't you? Yes, but actually this painting is by Monet. Number 1. The brush strokes in the sky are amazing. Aren't they? Where are we going for dinner? The brush strokes in the sky are amazing. Aren't they? By the way, or anyway, where are we going for dinner? So we can use by the way or anyway here. Number 2. It's too early to eat. Don't you like this painting? Yes, but I'm getting really hungry. It's too early to eat. Do you like this painting? Yes, but as I was saying, I'm getting really hungry. Number 3. I think we've seen everything. We haven't. There is another floor. I think we've seen everything. We haven't actually. There is another floor. Number 4. Are you tired of paintings yet? I'm really inspired. I love this landscape. Are you tired of paintings yet? Actually, I'm really inspired. I love this landscape. Number 5. I agree. This is the best painting here. We should head back to the car soon. I agree. This is the best painting here. Anyway, we should head back to the car soon. Now, let's read the article together and answer the questions. Dean Hill Art School Exhibition. The opening of the Dean Hill Art Exhibition highlighted the mix of influences on these creative final year students. The paintings in the first room were clearly inspired by classical artists and the more modern neoclassical movement. From this more traditional first room, you are led to a small anteroom to wait for the next performance. You are then taken to a dark room with lots of ropes hanging from the ceiling. Without giving too much away for future visitors to the show, you will see a young boy dressed in blue and red, and you will laugh and probably be reminded of a certain superhero. The next room was another complete change. This time, an angry antisocial woman made us all feel very uncomfortable. With the idea of progress in a modern world, it was a typical postmodern performance. A hugely varied exhibition by talented, proactive artists well worth a visit. Let's see now these statements and answer if they are correct, true, or false. The show is by well-known established artists. That's false. Number 1. The first room in the show contained paintings. True. There is a small room before the second room. True. Number 3. There were many artists in the second room. False. Number 4. The boy performer will make you happy. True. Number 5. The final room makes you feel very relaxed. False. The final room will make you feel uncomfortable. Number 6. The reviewer recommends the exhibition. True. The reviewer recommends the exhibition. Thank you so much for your attention. That's it for today. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.